1,300 videos, 30 million views per month, and over 300,000 followers across social media. We're gonna show you exactly how we did it and how you can do it too. Over the last year, we went from 10,000 to 300,000 followers while building a brand, starting a new business, signing multiple affiliate deals, and expanding to 2 new locations. We didn't get lucky, we got obsessed. We're gonna walk you through the process and show you how any athlete or coach or content creator can get started building within their niche with whatever they're good at and doing whatever they like. So without further ado, let's get to it. Here's exactly what we learned while making 1,300 videos. First thing is, people don't care until you hook them. You have 1.5 seconds to get their attention, to stop them from scrolling. That's all this is the psychology of stopping a person from scrolling along, getting them to pause long enough to see what you're talking about. Now, there's different types of hooks you can use. You can use a visual hook, you can use a question, you can use a list, but unless you've established yourself as an expert already, people aren't gonna really pay attention when you start a list. You can use storytelling, inspiration. We're gonna show you how to make a simple spreadsheet that's gonna keep track of everything, like your hook bank, which is gonna have all of the hooks you wanna use, so you don't have to go scouring for hooks every time you need a new one. The main thing with a hook is you don't wanna overthink it. All you're trying to do is get their attention. The other thing you're gonna wanna do is be consistent with how you shoot, from your backgrounds to your style, so that people can start recognizing your videos when they pop up. If you're constantly all over the place, nobody's gonna know if it's one of your videos or not. The other reason this is important is because you're gonna batch shoot all of your videos together, 15 to 30 at a time. Sometimes we'll do as many as 50. In order to do that, you're gonna wanna be organized. You wanna know exactly what you're gonna shoot. And the more detailed you are in your preparation, the easier it's gonna be to shoot a bunch of videos all at once. Probably one of the biggest things we learned is that volume beats perfection. There's a ton of videos you're gonna shoot that you think are great and other people aren't gonna like, or that you think are kind of and people are gonna love. You'll gradually learn what videos are probably gonna be successful. You still wanna tailor all your content to your overall audience. Some things are gonna resonate more with others. Some are gonna be more popular. And there's gonna be a variety of videos you're gonna shoot, and you're gonna tailor each one to a specific category. Because remember, you're just getting started on all this. You're not a professional actor. You're gonna wanna follow these basic concepts of talking about what you know, shooting things that are easy to get on film. If you're waiting constantly for something outrageous to happen, or you're filming hours and hours of something, hoping something cool is gonna happen so you can make a viral video, you're gonna be wasting a lot of time. Start with what you know, keep it simple, and what appeals to the broadest version of your audience. Cast a huge net. In the beginning, when you're getting a ton of comments and DMs, respond to all of them. You want to build a community. If people don't feel like they're engaged with you, they're gonna lose interest quickly. So be that person who responds. We try to respond to as many of our DMs and questions as we can, and we use a ton of the DM'd questions as content because we know that's what our audience wants to know about. Because while it's really cool to start getting a bunch of cool stuff and working with different companies, I can tell you from working with some of the biggest companies in baseball, if you try to get greedy with it right away, you're gonna tune a lot of people off and you're gonna start making content that nobody wants to see. As a content creator, you wanna think about who am I trying to help? What does my audience wanna see? It doesn't really matter what you like in terms of content. It matters what resonates with your audience. You might like to do some kinds of content, but you might not do it that well. You also want to be building a brand. If you're building your brand with a bunch of clips of other videos and other things other people are doing, when you pop on camera, no one's going to know who you are. You want to build your voice within the community, and you want to build your presence on social media so that you become an expert in that field. And you don't do that by trying to sound like the smartest person in the room. The best people who share knowledge are the ones who are able to explain it simply. Can you explain it to a kindergartner? Can you explain it in its simplest terms? We could talk all day about what the TrackMan data means, what our Proteus results mean, what our Vault equipment's telling us, but we would miss a lot of people if we did that. And not everybody's gonna have access to that equipment. Remember, we're trying to help the most people and share our knowledge with the broadest audience at first. So how do you narrow that down? Here are the 3 hacks you need to know. First, we need to build our ideas list. Go make a list of 100 ideas. Things you wanna talk about, things you know about. Now do it again. Now do it again. Wait. Before you do that, we're gonna make this a lot easier. Go on to ChatGPT, type in acting as my content creation strategist, provide me with 100 topics that relate to my niche, their pain points, and what they want to know most about. Then you're going to go into Google. You're going to Google the simplest question in your niche that you can think of that you could confidently answer. Go below that, and you're going to get suggested questions. And there is an endless supply of questions that the person who asked the original one also asked questions like those. Wash, rinse, and repeat this until you have 300 ChatGPT ideas, 300 from Google, and now go through that list of 600. It's super easy and super quick. Do I know anything on that topic? No? Get rid of it. Do I know a lot about that topic, or do I have a story about that topic? Good. Put that on your list. You can make this as complicated as you want, but let's keep it simple for now. You're gonna make 4 columns. The first one's gonna be topic, hook, what the theme is, and then what the actual content description is, where you're gonna put the meat of what you're gonna talk about. And it's anything you can answer a question to confidently. Talk about what you know. It's gonna come off more naturally, it's gonna be easier to shoot, you're gonna have more fun with it. You're getting started, you don't wanna have to go research every single topic and try to appease everybody. Remember, we're talking about short form content. If you're on YouTube Shorts, they're gonna be less than a minute. If you're on Instagram, it's gonna be 90 seconds or less. If you're on TikTok, you can go longer, but you wanna remember, we're keeping it simple. Hook them, introduce the topic, get to the meat of what you're talking about, and then wrap it up. This is going to help your average watch time and the percentage of people who complete the videos. That's going to help the algorithm push your content. Things that will also help you, talking about popular topics. You don't want to follow trends because by the time you jump on a trend, it's going to be too late. But things that have done really well are always going to follow a pattern. You can copy the pattern of your favorite creators, but then redo it your way. And as you're making your own content, you want to remember these 3 things. First, you're going to want to change camera angles. Think about your favorite show or movie. How long do they stay on one shot? Now, you don't have to go full Coco Melon. You don't have to change it every 2 seconds, but slightly changing the camera angle is going to make it more engaging. Then you're going to want to see how that looks on camera. A lot of times we feel like we're trying to be too much when really you need to see how it looks on camera because what you feel is comfortable might come off as a little boring. Whereas what you feel like might be over the top and you're being way too much is actually much more engaging for the viewer. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to stop consuming content. You're going to start studying it. Every time you finish a video, why did I finish the video? What pattern did they follow? What hooked me? What kept me watching? Why did I care? And what about it made me finish the video? In short form, there's an easy pattern to follow where you hook, confirm while they're watching it, give them the meat of the content, and then end it quickly. You don't want the ending to drag on. And things like using a prop for prop's sake totally work, but the story is going to matter more. Every part of your story should follow a this happened because this happened, therefore this happened. We've all heard people tell stories where you're wondering, when are they going to land this plane? Like, we have 2 quick things left with this video and we're done. And the last 2 are probably the most important. As you're growing and building your following, you want to remember you're going to attract more flies with honey than vinegar. If you're bashing other things or constantly trying to get views from outrageous takes, you have to think about how sustainable that is. Our brain's going to want to be associated with that. The things you put in your videos are going to be what they associate you with. So be careful, be yourself, but if you avoid bashing other companies and other brands, you might get to work with them someday. Plus, being super negative gets really old really quickly. In addition to our baseball content, we're going to be documenting our growth and our expansion. We're also going to be shooting more videos like this because we want coaches and athletes to understand how they can grow and become profitable on social media. So be sure to subscribe and follow along because as we get into our next 2 facilities, we're going to continue to bring you more looks behind the scenes of how everything actually runs because we believe in paying it forward. And one of the things that's most important to us is helping other people get started because we believe in being who you needed when you were younger. And these are all things that would have saved us a ton of time. Start shooting, get started now. Don't worry about it being perfect. I'm Swag and Shades. Hope that helps.